The mix killer that you may not be able to hear. Next on Music Surgery with me. Sumner, you idiot, it's in front of my face. Get it up. With me, Dr. Bob. Hey you guys, quickly before we get started, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. And don't forget to check out the Doctor's Lounge, my store, and the links to some great samples below in the description of this video. So, I've heard this mix oversight in many songs on the radio and it drives me crazy. Once I figured this problem out, I went back to listen to some of my old mixes and there it was. Depending on your monitors, you may not be able to hear this problem, but that's okay. Here's an excellent habit to get into to solve it. Watch this. All right, you guys, good stuff this week. I've made this mistake many times until I realized I was making it, and I never have to make it again. I hear it on lots of things that I master. I try to compensate for it, but it's very difficult to do when you're mastering. So let me show you this, and once you learn it, you'll never make this mistake again. All right, there it was. I'll play it again and see if you can catch it. It's something that can really muddy up your mix, and it can also trash your master bus compressor or your limiter. Here, let me play it one more time, and then we'll get into it. Okay, so I've seen this happen in a lot of mixes. It used to happen in mine. I've seen it a lot in things that I master, and it's really hard to fix at the mastering stage. Let me play you what's going on between the toms and the bass. Let me get right up close to this fill. Sometimes if you don't have appropriate bottom end in your monitoring, you wouldn't hear this. But even if you don't have the appropriate bottom end, maybe a sub or whatever, you can still get around this. Listen to this problem. Listen to the muddiness, especially after this last low tom and the bass. So these drum manufacturers brag about how they can make their toms sustain. I mean, on floor toms, even if you take one of the legs and invert it, it can even sustain longer, which I've always found, and I'm a drummer, I've always found hilarious, because there's nothing worse in a track than a big, warm sounding, sustaining tom. Why would, in any track, why would you want in the middle of your track? I mean, there's nothing good about that. Yes, I like tone in my toms, but really, to me, the attack is much more important than anything else. So what we want to do to get this out of the way of the bass tone, the bass frequency, you have the tom and the bass clashing like this and making some horrible overtone. So these toms are, I mean, that rings for about an entire bar. These toms are by themselves. Obviously, they're samples, but watch what happens in this bar. And that's even a short bass note, and it still sounds terrible. So what I do to every tom that's the last of a phrase of a tom is I automate it down. So as you can see, this is a level that after this tom hits the sustain, I can even do this to make it a little longer. I automate the sustain down in level. So here it is without the automation and with the automation. So clean. This much low end ganged up could really mess up your master bus compressor if you're not careful, and your limiter, and it's just going to accentuate all that noise. So often what I'll do is I'll take this automation and I'll just drag it over to the end of every tom in my track. Here's another one. Obviously, you can see that I've already done this to this track. I was working on it this week, and I thought this would be a great idea. In real time, I'm working on this, and it's something I do every song now. And like I said, if your speakers aren't picking this up because you don't have the ability to hear way down in 40 or 50 or 60 cycles, you're not going to be able to tell that this is a problem. So why not just do it anyway? So at the end of every tom phrase of the song, I just took the automation and copied it. That way, you're not getting these competing frequencies in the low end to muddy up your mix and mess up your master bus compression and limiting. Well, there you go. No more muddy mess between your toms and bass. Some simple automation and problem solved. Thanks as always for watching. Give me some comment love and a thumbs up below, and hit me at drbobmusicsurgery@gmail.com if you want to say hello or you want me to work on your music. Take care of yourselves and each other, and I'll see you the next time the doctor's in.